So before we talk about Patanjali sutras, there's the very first sutra which he's got, sort of as the preamble to all the sutras. It says Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Okay. That Atha means having completed a certain course of study, being aware of a lot of things regarding consciousness. Now we start this inner discipline of applying all of that in this manner that I'm going to show you now. So there is a pre-knowledge which is required. First, remember that. To cover that pre-knowledge, we will start with Satchitananda. Okay? Because Patanjali's exposition is on the Chitta, which is the individual's conscious field, conscious substance, so dense that it's actually felt like a substance. That consciousness, that is the individual consciousness, Chitta. And then there is something called Chit, which you must have heard of in Sat, Chit, Ananda. That Chit is the cosmic consciousness. It is also stuff, it is very material. But the goal of all this exercise of yoga is to generate this Chitta and eventually even penetrate into Chit itself, the cosmic Chit. That because of AI and physics, we will get there. But for that, the mind has to be perfectly patterned in this Chitta. So, Sat is intelligence. There is this assumption, not just existence. It is incorrect to say there is existence. It's not existence, awareness, bliss. It is intelligence, consciousness, and bliss. I'm basically upgrading this whole dimensions. Okay, so fundamental assumption is that intelligence is endemic, and we can see that in physics also. I mean, it's like brilliant, and the math that describes it. So of course chemistry, and of course living intelligence also. So intelligence is endemic is one thing we have to assume, and that is the Sat. And then for the individual, it's called Satya. Okay, so every individual has their own expression of truth. Similarly, then you move to Chit, which is consciousness for the universe, for the cosmos, assuming that the universe is psychic. And then that Sat, Chit, that Chit becomes Chitta in Patanjali. Okay. Finally, when you come to Ananda of this cosmic architecture, which assumes that the universe is a conscious being, and your goal is to generate it, not just as you can assume it as a goal, but not as an established fact. You have to establish it. Getting there, the first step is to sort out your own Chitta. And that Chitta of yours, basically in Vibhuti-pada, you will get to total Ananda and then you go into Kaivalya, if Patanjali. That means the whole universe is one within you. That's your own personal microcosm, and the macrocosm, which is this whole thing called the cosmos, that becomes one and integrated. That is when we are able to realize the universe is a conscious being. So you should first understand this concept. Then we can talk further about Patanjali. This is Atha Yoga Anushasanam. So before you can begin the inner discipline of yoga, there is some material to be understood, and this was it.